In this video, I'm going to talk to you all about how to be safe when you're out on the road driving for Lyft. So being safe is a lot about common sense, but when you're driving for Lyft in this job, doing rideshare, you are out in the public, in the streets, all sorts of places all the time. So you need to be aware, and you need to follow a couple of really easy rules to try and stay safe. And I'm going to tell you guys about some crazy stories that I've heard and experienced when I'm out driving. So, okay, first thing about being safe is you need to be hyper aware when you are driving. Okay, if you're making money with your car, you do not want to get hit. You do not want to hit somebody, and you want to keep your passenger safe, and you want to keep you safe. So you need to be as aware of the road as possible. You want to go ahead and get one of these little guys right here, one of these little cell phone mounts, so that you can put your phone up in that mount so that your GPS does not distract you. Okay, when you pick somebody up, you want to accept the ride while you're parked. You want to put in the GPS, whatever their location is, which will load automatically. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, you want to have all that done while you are parked. Okay, and hit go now on your Waze app, and you'll head right out, and then you can start driving. And you won't have to touch the phone until you stop the car again to let them out. Okay, so that's one of the first things that you want to know when you're about being safe. Okay, obviously you want to have all your mirrors and all your lights in perfect condition. Have them adjusted. Make sure that you're aware of the road. That's essential as well. Okay. The other thing you want to do when you are out picking people up, if you're on a busy downtown street, you want to go ahead and use your hazard lights all the time. Okay. That's really important, because if you're just sitting in the middle of the road somewhere, no one knows why you're sitting there, or if they're not paying attention, if your hazards aren't on and people don't see those blinking lights, they might just run into you. Okay. You also want to make sure you're out of the way as possible. So you want to make sure that you're over on the farthest side of the road that you possibly can be. Okay. You want to be out of the way, and you want to just be, if you have to be on the side of the road, be there. If not, if you can pull in somewhere, you want to do that. Okay. And then also when you're looking to see where your person is, okay, you'll see your pickup location, and then you might see a person that will show where they are actually at. Now, this is not always correct. I would always go to the pickup location, right? Go to where they said to pick them up, because 95% of the time that is right. We'll talk about when it's wrong in another video that you guys can check out that I've got in this playlist here. But you really just want to be careful about using your phone, and stay out of the road and use your hazards. And that's pretty much, pretty much as much as I can tell you in that. Just use common sense. That's, really essential there. Okay, another thing that could really go into safety for sure is there will be, wrecks and things like that could happen. And when that happens, you want to call 911 first, and you want to get the cops on their way right to the scene of your location after you make sure that everybody in your car is all right. And then you want to go ahead and get on your Lyft app and let Lyft know. You just go into the help section, and then you hit Roadside Assistance, and then you just tell Lyft to call you, and you're going to have to tell them what happened basically. And have your insurance on hand. Have it on your smartphone where you can show the police. You want to carry your own insurance, and you also will get insurance through Lyft. Okay, and it's not super good, but anyhow, you have two forms of insurance there. Lyft will make sure that you have insurance before they allow you to drive. So that's essential right there. And then going on to safety. Okay, there are people who I've had all the time. Me and other drivers that I know have had this happen all the time. People will try to bring their young children. I'm talking, under 10 or 12, okay, small kids, in the car with no car seat. Do not let this happen. This is illegal. You can go to jail for child endangerment. Even if it's legal in your state, would not accept it. Okay, kids have to be in a car seat. You cannot let this fly. If somebody comes up to you and they have a kid, you have to say, I'm sorry, sir or ma'am, but I can't take you anywhere because you don't have a car seat for your child. And they may look puzzled. I've had this happen to me like 7 times, okay? And I know other people have it happen on a regular basis. You want to tell them that you're sorry that you cannot help them, right? And just tell them to cancel the ride. If they have any issue with that, then, sorry, it's not my problem. Just drive off. Cancel the ride on your end if you have to, if they refuse to cancel, and then also you'll want to, go offline for a second, sit in your car, and then email Lyft and let them know, hey, I had this, rider, say his name was John, he tried to bring his 3-year-old along with no car seat, and then, he didn't understand why I couldn't take him anywhere. And I've had to report people before because they just don't understand. And there's really no harm in it. I've seen people, walking toward my car with a young kid, no car seat, and I'll just cancel right there and just drive right off. Because it's not acceptable. It's not, I did that one day when it was literally like the second time that it happened, and I was kind of sick of that being a thing. So you want to make sure you keep kids safe. Do not accept, young kids. Obviously, if the kid can be, if you're, it's really obvious. You want to look up your state law. You want to look up your state law to really know, because I can't tell you every state law ever off the top of my head. But here in Kentucky, I'm pretty sure that it's like if they're under 60 pounds, you can pretty much gauge that. Most kids, it's pretty obvious, like whether or not they need a car seat or a booster seat. Even if they're like 10, a lot of times they're too light and they still need a booster seat, and it's still legal for you to take them in the car. So unless they're like, a teenager, like 14 or 15-year-old, you want to be careful about that, because you can get in trouble and you can get somebody hurt. Now going on to other types of things you want to do to be safe. When you're picking people up, all the time when I arrive at a location to pick somebody up, I always keep my car locked. Okay, I keep my car locked. I turn on the hazard so that's easy for drivers to see me, and it's also easy for the rider to see me. Okay, you obviously want to have your Lyft emblem on, which is something that's definitely required. You gotta have it in the front of the car, and Lyft will send you 2 stickers. You want to have one in the back too. You can see mine up there. And you want to keep your doors locked, all of them, and also kind of be aware. Look in your windows and see, if people are walking up. You want to kind of, if there's a picture of the person, okay, that you're picking up, you want to see if you can recognize them. A lot of times I see a picture and then the person walking toward my car with their phone out looks just like the person on the app. Really easy to figure out that that's them, and I unlock the car and they get right in. But sometimes at like really busy events, you'll have people just trying to get in your car and they don't know, and they're drunk and everything like that. You don't want to have somebody, try to get into your car, and then you'll be like, hey man, is your name John? They'll be like, no, this is Gabriel, and you'll be like, well, you're not my passenger, leave. And then they'll get mad and try to fight you or something like that. Anything could happen. You really want to just be aware of stuff like that when you're out. Also, road rage. When you're out on the road constantly, you're going to run into a lot of road rage. You do not want to engage in road rage while you have people in the car, and you just really don't want to engage in road rage, period. You just want to try to avoid it as much as possible. If you have a rider, it looks really unprofessional, and it can also be really dangerous because, there have been incidents where people, this is a country where there's guns all over the place, obviously, that are sometimes, unfortunately, used incredibly wrong. And there have been incidents, people, I know a driver personally who, in my city, he was driving toward this restaurant that's pretty frequent at night, around like 3 a.m., and there was actually a shooting there. Somebody did get killed. So anyhow, he's going to this restaurant to drop somebody off. He pulls in, or picks somebody up, I forget which one. He pulls in, and bam, 2 rounds go through his car and into his car. Anyhow, he quit driving Lyft. That has nothing to do with Lyft, but it just scared him really bad. But he pulled up in this parking lot, and bam, boom, shots fired. Barely missed him. It was a pretty scary situation in a public area. Things can happen. You just want to avoid road rage, and just be careful. If you're in an area that you know is like somewhat sketchy or that's like known for crime or something like that, just be hyper aware when you pull up. Be careful of people trying to get in your car. I have had people who are not my passengers try to get in the car, and that can always cause issues. Just be really aware of that stuff. And then also going on to personal protection, you can get some, something like a mace or something like that you can carry in your car, just for any situation that might arise for the protection of yourself or for your riders. You really never know what type of stuff can happen. I've heard some really crazy stories. You know, it just depends. I have personally been driving down the road in a certain area and had a guy he flashed his gun in his belt. He just showed me that he had a gun, like in his belt, like just in his waist, just turned around, like I just drove past him, and I was just like, what is going on? There's crime in every major city that you're driving in. Okay, there's sketchy areas of every city, and people are just crazy. So you just got to be careful. You just got to be aware. Make sure that you and your passengers stay safe, and just really be tuned into what's going on. And both hands on the wheel, 10 and 2, and just use your head when you're out there, and it'll really help you out in the long run. Alright, if you want to drive for Lyft, I've got a link below where you can get a referral bonus from me. It's usually above $300. It can go even higher sometimes. It just depends on your region, and it depends on how hard you want to hustle. So go ahead and check that out. Thank you for watching, and you guys stay safe out there. Bye.